This is a Headgum original.
Jake and Amir, two Jews that you can't forget. In 2010, they were big on the internet. But then 3 failed pilots, 2 rejected movie scripts. One last-ditch effort to try and stop their career from going to shit. Segment. Another podcast. Segment. Each app different from the last. Segment. It's the Swiss Army knife of shows. Meet your 2 pathetic hosts.
Woo! 2 pathetic hosts. Here we go. Kicking it off right.
Hi, welcome to Segment, the whole show. How to deal with today's
Took
modern
like
world.
5 months off
I fucking start from square
on
one.
the wrong foot.
Yeah, and you've done a lot of podcasts too.
Yeah,
And I've done a few myself with the Headgum podcast.
that's true.
But we haven't done a show together
Yeah,
since May.
right. Except for Patreon, obviously.
Oh, no, yes, of course. There was always
Yeah.
the paywall. And
Yeah.
the getting was good
Taking
behind
time
the wall.
off was a farce.
Yes.
We have not ever actually taken a week off.
No.
There is
We just wanted
weekly
to get
content.
paid for
Yeah,
that
right.
break.
But a week off has never, ever happened for us since 2008.
Earlier than that.
Really?
Yeah.
6.
6 to 7 for sure.
Seven-ish.
Yeah.
Okay.
And every break
Yeah.
was sort of preceded by a batch recording to
right.
make sure that we weren't
Exactly.
in the
Exactly.
deficit / red.
Right. Yeah. I mean, our job is easy. It's
yes.
absolutely easy.
So easy we could do it forever and ever without
right.
a break.
Yeah, we can batch.
Yes, we can batch. Real jobs can't
Yeah.
batch.
Right. You can't batch.
You can't batch doctor.
No.
No,
You
yeah.
can't. You
Can I
cannot
see
batch
everybody
dentists.
this week, and then if
No.
somebody gets sick next week, I'll have seen them
Yeah,
already.
Right. You can't batch.
That's
you
an
can't
emergency.
bank.
No, you can't bank a banker.
No.
a banker can't bank.
They have to be there 9 to 5.
Exactly. I can't
I have to be there
deposit a
9 to
check.
5, but then I can take the rest of 9 to 5s off for that month.
Yes, I can
Okay.
work 3 9 to 5s, and then the rest of the 9 to 5s are a sort of chill zone for me.
It's good to be back.
It's 10 to 3, honestly. 9 to 5 seems a little extreme.
It's good to be batch, I should say.
That's really good. It's good to be bank.
Yeah, it's good to make bank and be batch.
Let's take a break.
Let's do that.
Let's take a break.
Yeah,
Because we do. We are in the deficit ad-wise.
Yeah.
Yes.
We were releasing previously paywall content
Yes,
during the
of
break.
course. We had
were
to
not
chum
gone.
the waters.
We were not gone, anyone.
Gone, but yes,
Yes.
we were not gone, but we were forgotten.
Right.
Which is the worst of both
Gone and
worlds.
forgotten.
Yeah, we were here, and also people didn't care.
Yeah, right.
But now we're back.
to deafening silence
Yeah.
instead of thunderous applause,
The audience went mild.
as I was with child.
You are with child. Okay, wait.
Yeah.
There's too much to get to.
All right, so actually, we are 3 minutes in. Let's explain what the new show is, because mostly we were explaining production for everybody.
Right.
We are back
Yeah.
with a new show
And a new theme song. That
and
was
a new
Ferris
theme.
Monchi, the
Yes,
OG.
shout out to Ferris. The concept is that every single episode is 5 brand new segments.
Yeah, we're trying to keep it new and fresh, so much so that week to week it's a completely new thing.
Yeah. So 5 segments every single week.
I think-
Sometimes they might recur if we like something.
Or if they like something.
Or if yes, so as
cares what
always,
we like?
yeah,
We want to hear from you.
Yeah, we want to hear from the fans. Let us know what's good, what should stick around, and that could become a recurring segment or a semi-recurring segment. But then sometimes we might have one-offs too. But
Sure.
basically, 5 segments every single week.
Basically, every time we try to think about a new podcast, we're like, that's good, but we don't want to do that every week.
Right, exactly.
Like, oh, talking about this is fun,
Yeah.
but like, what are we going to do that every week?
Because we had the experience of doing a podcast for, nearly 10 years.
We
So we're
milked
like,
that
yeah.
cow dry.
Could we do this? Oh, this is good, but could I do it for as long as we did If I Were You? The answer is no. We couldn't do If I Were You for as long as we did If I Were You.
We beat the dead horse
Right.
until it was completely
There
gone.
was no point in beating the dead
Bone
horse.
dry.
Right.
Hitting a skeleton.
So now we have a fresh new pony to ride.
Correct.
First segment is catching up and explaining the show. So the show has been explained. And yeah, let's catch up. Some life updates. What do you say?
I had a wedding. You had a kid. Oh,
Right.
did I tell you I ended up owning the car that I was leasing.
You leased to own?
Yeah.
You have
For whatever
the Mazda?
reason. The Mazda's
Maserati.
Now, yes.
Vroom, vroom.
Yeah.
Very nice.
It was kind of interesting. So I was able to convert the lease opportunity into
Really?
more of a pre-owned vehicle.
That's incredible.
So that I shifted my
Did they
payments.
well, they got you. So
to
you
the same
locked in the
payments.
price.
Yes.
You locked in the price,
Still
but
locked
now
in
the
the price.
payment is the same.
Exactly.
Tell
And then
me about
after
the tax
5
write-off.
years,
Excuse me. Tell me about the tax write-off
and
situation.
it's a little confusing
it's
because
the
you
depreciation.
and it's the asset.
You're writing off the
Appreciating
depreciation
asset.
versus the actual payment.
Asset. And then I'll be able to sort of sell the car as a used vehicle for the first
Very
time in my
nice.
life.
Very nice.
Of course, the cons are every time something goes wrong, now I'm on the hook.
You are on the hook.
I
But
go
I'm
back
sure-
to
I
the
imagine
dealership.
they'll still take you at the
They'll
dealership,
take me
but
to
it's
the
not
dealership,
pro
but I'm not
boner.
treated with kindness / reverence. They
Yeah,
think I was a
right.
nasty boy for taking their
Yes,
car.
yes,
They wanted to buy it back.
Right, they probably made you an offer because you
And
had
I did
that.
refuse.
Yes.
They made me an offer I could refuse easily.
Yes.
It was a bad
Right.
offer.
It wasn't a bad offer.
It was a bad offer.
Very good. I actually had I had a baby, but then also we had a RAV4.
Tell me
'Cause
about the Toyota.
Yeah, so I had the 4Runner. The
Yeah.
lease ran up. I said I'm having a baby.
Having a kid.
I'm having a
And I do
I'm
want to
gonna
hear
ha-
about the
yeah.
kid, but how did you
Gemma,
convert
love,
the lease?
lovely little lady.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
I was like,
Do you have a picture of the car?
Yeah.
Oh my God, she's
The
cute.
RAV4. I wanted the hybrid. I thought it was the responsible thing to do.
Because you can't go full electric. It's not practical.
Yeah. I couldn't do it. Not in the city. Not in New York. There's not enough charging stations. I
Yes.
street park. Okay. I don't know what I'm
Yeah.
going to do there. So yeah. I trade in the 4Runner. Get a great deal. Great deal.
Amazing.
Because I got that car December 2020.
And you lock in that rate
yeah.
to purchase
Oh, wait,
that
no,
car.
It was December 2019. So it was pre-COVID
Even better,
rates.
even better.
Incredible stuff.
Yes.
So they paid me cash for that car. That car appreciated in value.
Which
if you
never
can believe it.
happens.
Does not happen.
No,
Does
that
not
was,
happen.
it was
But
an
you get the Army Green TRD Pro. That's gonna happen for you.
Kelly Blue Book.
Kelly Blue Book value $36K.
Oh my God. But you locked it in at what?
I locked it in at 32 purchase price.
Of course.
Of course. Of course you did. Why wouldn't I?
You have to.
You lock that in.
Yes.
You negotiate that price.
Is Gemma sweet to have as well?
Yeah, and I'll tell you what, the
likes the
RAV4,
car.
the RAV4, it didn't have the legroom for Gemma's car seat because we have the Up a Baby.
It didn't have the legroom for Gemma. It's that
Yeah,
tight.
It's that tight.
Yeah,
that
that
tight.
Hearst
She wanted the
8-inch
RAV4.
legs.
She wanted the 4Runner, excuse me. She wanted the 4Runner because she needs that extra space. We need the trunk space to break down the stroller.
Yes.
Because you have the stroller system, the Up a Baby stroller system.
The Up a Baby stroller system.
Yeah, that's got the car seat. It goes
USTSP.
into the actual,
Yep.
the wheel, the
Yep.
push part.
Yes, exactly.
And it has all these different compartments. You have the classic stroller, you have the car seat, you have the bassinet. You can just click them all in and out.
Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, but you got to
Transformer
put that
style.
in the trunk, and the RAV4 just didn't have the
It
space.
didn't have the space.
Didn't have
it
the
couldn't
space.
have the space.
No.
It's a smaller SUV.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, you're married. How does that feel? You're wearing a ring.
Yeah,
You weren't
it's
sure you
good.
were going to do that.
Yeah, it's nice. I drove the car there probably 11:30. I was able to fill up gas the night before.
Yeah, it's
just to make sure, like,
amazing.
I don't want any other stresses
Right,
that day.
right. You
Because
don't
the
have to
day,
think about
whatever,
gas.
went off, and it was the highs
Yeah.
and lows of getting married. Yeah, yeah.
Right.
I leave the estate where we
Yeah.
got married.
Yeah.
I hit a pothole. I'm like, uh-oh, is this what I'm in for?
Do you have roadside protection? Because now you're not leasing.
So I ended up getting AAA last year because
Really
it
good.
provided a discount on a hotel that outweighed the cost of the actual service.
Incredible.
Now I have the
Incredible.
AAA, and I'll tell you the most annoying part.
Roadside assistance. What's the annoying part about AAA?
The letters they send you every week. It's like, here's a new thing
You
that
can opt
need.
out. You can go paperless.
I want to go paperless,
You
but
can
like
go
by the time I
paperless.
find
Load
out,
up your. Can I see your AAA app? Do you have the app? Do you have the app? Do you have the Do you have the AAA app?
AAA app. Yeah, I don't have the app.
You should really download that app.
That's cool.
You should download that app.
And it was so fun to catch up on everything. That's
Yeah.
an example of like one of our first segments.
Right.
So now that we're caught up and the audience is caught up as well, we can do a complete pivot to segment number 2.
And this is the closing of that segment, which we always We always make...
We end with a kiss, an
Yeah.
Eskimo kiss. So if you guys are watching online, Jake and I will rub noses for 30
Yeah.
seconds.
All right, we should mention this is we're recording in studio in person for the first time in several months too. I haven't
Yeah.
seen you since I went home to get a RAV4 or to
The baby
have a
plus
baby.
the car.
Yeah.
Yes. And
I had a
haven't
baby
seen
in
you
a
since
car.
the wedding plus the car situation.
Yeah.
At least the conversion to the ownership.
Amazing.
Now I'm a
all
used
right,
car
cool.
owner.
And this segment is closed. It's time for the second segment, folks.
And that is something we have to figure out sort of
The
as we
transition?
go along. The transition. I kind of like the idea of like a logo flying to the center, like segments, like
Right, and
that
coming
part of
back.
the chorus. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe by the time you hear this, because we're recording this before the show comes out, obviously.
right, we have to bank. We have to batch.
That's why you see this logo. This is just the generic Headgum
Right.
logo. We haven't
We-
even figured out the
No,
art
we don't know
yet.
what the logo is yet.
Yes, exactly.
But we didn't have a lot of time. I feel like we only had like 5 or 6 months since the other show ended.
Yeah, but we can't work unless there's an imminent deadline, so we didn't
Yeah.
really get cracking until
Until
October
yesterday.
7th. Yes, of course.
So this is a segment. By the way, we were talking about calling this show Segmania.
That's right.
So sound off in the comments if you think Segmania is better, and we will change it for next episode.
Yeah, which is hard because the next episode we're recording in an hour, also
Yeah.
before the show comes
Right.
out.
So actually, for episode 3, it'll be different, and we'll
Yes.
re-record the theme song, obviously.
We have to.
Okay. So this segment is called Poetry or Noetry.
That's right.
Would you care to explain it? I believe you thought of this one.
So this one is sort of a little light-hearted jab towards Jake's love of the spoken word,
The written word.
the written word. Jake loves poetry.
I do love poetry. I love poetry. There are a lot of poems that will actually
Move you to
bring me
tears.
to tears, and not just like, oh, my eye is wet, but
little
like, pretty.
Tears streaming down.
Yeah, essentially, even short of breath sometimes.
Wow, like hyperventilating a little
Yeah,
bit.
yeah.
Are you reading on a treadmill or just completely from stasis? You're on a couch and then within 3 minutes you're
I'm on a treadmill, but it is stationary.
stationary bike.
Yeah.
On a treadmill.
On a treadmill,
Neither of which
exactly.
are on.
Yeah.
Okay.
right. That's how I like to take it.
Do you find yourself crying more since you had a child?
For
Just like
sure.
release your emotional
Yeah.
something or other.
Yeah, no, I mean, I cry. I'm like I was emotional before, but like yesterday, Jill and I were watching the baby like try to fall asleep. We're doing that thing where, they cry until they fall asleep, essentially.
Yeah.
And we're doing like a middle ground where you're allowed to check on them sometimes. But she's crying. She's crying. She's trying to go to sleep. She goes to bed. She wakes up an hour or two later. She starts crying. We're just like watching. It's like, all right, well, we have 5 minutes, and then we go in to try to like relax her.
That could be a good segment, by the way.
Yeah, 5 minutes of my baby crying. But she's crying. She's crying. She puts her finger in her mouth, and then she kind of just goes back to sleep. And Jill and I both just burst into tears.
Really?
We're both just crying our eyes out.
Because you don't have to go in, or because she was
Because it
sweet
was
when
just
she
so,
stopped?
it's just, she looks so fucking, it's so hard. She's like struggling, and then she just like looks peaceful, and you're just like, I want to fucking go in and give you a hug and say, amazing job. You got yourself back to sleep. That
Bar
was
is so
huge.
low, yeah.
Yeah.
She just has to go back to sleep. Is the
She does
greatest part,
anything.
the
and it
highlight of
breaks-
your day.
Yeah. When she smiles at me when I wake up, I could cry.
What
all
is the
time.
gas mileage on the RAV4? By the way?
So the RAV4
In
was
city.
incredible.
In
50
city.
miles to the
highway?
gallon. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, it was amazing.
I could cry.
The 4Runner that I traded in for,
Yeah.
18.
That's not
18
useful.
on the highway.
That's not useful.
No.
It really isn't.
No, it's not. But I don't care.
Okay, so the shtick is Jake loves poems. I think I'm sort of like, hey, my 4-year-old can do that.
Yeah.
So I'm going to read you a few poems.
Okay. Oh, few.
Yeah. I think I've got 3. Two
All
of
right.
them are real poems and one of them's fake, which means I wrote it.
Right. So-
They're all real poems, but I
Yeah.
like to call the one I wrote a fake
This segment is
poem.
actually just you tried to write poetry. In a world where you don't think poetry sucks, it's
Yeah.
like I did my best to write a poem.
Right. And my goal, of course, is to convince you that the one I farted out on the shitter is just as good as an award-winning poem.
Oh, so these all won awards. So it's not like you just because you could have also just found 2 bad poems.
That's correct.
These are award-winning poems.
Award-winning poems by
Okay.
people who dedicate their lives to poetry, and then
craft.
the judges thought, you know what, this is actually good
The
enough. to win
poet
an award.
laureate of Kansas.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then me on a notes app getting high as shit saying maybe Jake will like this. I said when we were coming up with this idea, the funniest result is me like you find out that I'm an amazing poet.
Right.
Like you're crying at mine. I'm like,
yours.
was that any good? How did you harness the power of fatherhood?
My God. I've been trying to write poems for a decade. I haven't been able to do what you did.
Okay, first one. It's called The Last Leaf Before Winter.
Okay.
Any inclination so far? You're sort of keeping your heart and mind open.
I'm keeping everything open.
Okay. September will never come, she said, crop circles in her eyes, looking deeply and falling. Back to earth when she looks forward. The cigarette butt touches the ground. It's the cancer, he said. She smiled and tipped the man, then laughed all the way home.
Wow. I don't know if you can zoom in, but my eyes did get misty.
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna.
Well, you don't have to say. Yeah, you don't have to guess yet.
No chance you wrote that poem. You did not write that poem. Are you laughing because you did?
Let's find out together. No chance you wrote that poem.
Oh my God, he did. Are you an amazing poet?
You don't know yet.
Oh my God.
Okay. This one's called Sadie.
Sadie?
Yep. We are until we are not. I should say the pauses are line breaks.
Yeah.
Because I want you to sort of visualize it. We are until we are not. Quarter parts divided between 3 generations. Mix and matched, but mostly Sadie.
Okay.
That one, you're considering that I could have written.
Yeah, that one wasn't for me, and it was math and division based, kind of like a fraction thing.
Yeah.
So I think it's you.
Okay.
But let's hear the last one.
Last one's a haiku.
Okay. That one's a haiku by you.
It's called Muse.
Nice. I start crying.
You are transparent, fading through the lines of my battered poetry.
Okay.
It seems like you're leaning to one of the last two.
Yeah. I think you wrote the Sadie one.
Sadie one.
Yeah.
Okay. So the first one was called Last Leaf Before Winter.
Yeah. And I'll tell you the reason I didn't think you wrote, well, one, it basically made me cry.
Yep.
And the crop circles. It's the crop circles. I think that's like a really common poetry thing that I don't think you would have come up with. But now you have to tell me if you wrote that poem.
That poem was written by Jessica Burtz.
Great.
Gwinnett Technical College, Lawrenceville, Georgia.
An amazing poem. Congrats.
You knew right away.
Yeah. I mean, that's a poem.
It's a poem.
Yeah.
The other two, give or take.
I'm a haiku is just never for me.
Yeah.
So you were doomed as soon as you chose a haiku.
Okay, let's read the haiku again, and then you'll be able to see which one was me. Mm-hmm. Muse, you are transparent, fading through the lines of my battered poetry. Was written by Tiffany Carlson, and
Wow.
yes, I did write Sadie. Yeah.
Let's read your poem one more time. Because
it actually really
sucks. And I'll tell you
I
why.
didn't want to fucking say anything, just in case Jessica wrote that.
It's kind of amazing. Poems really just move. They can move you.
Yeah, and I can't quite harness the power yet. This is
Right.
one I want to try again, of course. It's
Yeah.
like the game Balderdash, but with poetry instead
Right.
of the definitions of words. Sadie was...
Sadie by Amir Blumenfeld, 2023.
We are until we are not.
That's pretty solid.
Meaningless, sort of.
Yeah.
Quarter parts divided by 3 generations. Like, we're all a quarter of all of our grandparents, so grandparents, parents,
That's
and you.
what tipped
The
everything
fractions. Sorry, I meant crop circles divided by 9.
crop circles and cigarette butts, all right?
Mix and matched, but mostly Sadie. Like I'm like my grandmother the most, I guess. But did you like it at all? Or like, I mean, I'll even take
Honestly,
notes.
The first line was interesting.
Oh.
It fell apart moving through it. And then you tried to just like, make it a poem at the end.
Sadie, yeah. Trying to come up with a
one
name I would never
cryptic
say.
thing, yeah.
So what did you like about Last Leaf Before Winter? What did you get from that? Because I read it, I'm like, this is meaningless to me.
I guess I feel like poetry that I really like is just like very almost mundane slice of life, then stab you with some poignancy.
It's cancer, he said. She smiled and tipped the man, then laughed all the way home.
Yeah. I guess I couldn't even tell in that poem if it was her cancer or his cancer. I think it's her cancer, and she's laughing because life is so fleeting and beautiful.
It's cancer, he said. That's the doctor diagnosing her.
Right.
And then she laughs all the way home.
Don't
read it. It's actually mine. All right? Is that what you wanted to hear?
Okay. September will never come, she said, crop circles in her eyes. So I guess she's saying that she's going to die before the fall. Looking deeply and falling back to earth, she looks forward. The cigarette butt touches the ground. So she's got lung cancer. It's cancer, he said. She smiled and tipped the man. You don't know, you wouldn't tip a doctor.
Yeah.
But I think maybe she's tipping like a parking garage attendant or somebody. I imagined it being at the diner because that's just Americana poetry. Diner vibe. Driving through the fucking hay fields of Iowa.
Yeah.
Then laughed all the way home. Yeah, because you have to. If you don't laugh, you cry. You know.
You did both.
It's a great poem.
Great poem. I'm glad you guys were here to listen to it.
Yeah.
I want to try that again. Give me another fucking crack of the bat.
I would love that.
Assholes.
Welcome to the segment we're calling Sketch 101. Sketch 101.
Pivoting entirely. Although not entirely, because I guess this one's also about writing.
Right. So we're going to try to write a Jake and Amir sketch live right here in the next 10 minutes.
Yeah.
I found a website called randomwordgenerator.com. I'm going to generate 3 random words.
Okay.
And we'll choose which one we feel like is the most apropos for a Jake and Amir.
Sounds like the title of an episode.
Right. Because most of our titles were Jake and Amir noun.
Yeah.
Okay. The 3 words that I generated randomly.
Sorry, you really didn't like my poem at all.
Sadie.
Oh, wait. We're not supposed to go back to other segments. Yeah.
3 fractions divided by quarters and parts, mixed and matched, a matrices of ancestries.
It's actually really good.
I could write a poem you would like.
Wordle was the day of the day. She got it all wrong. Yellow, green, blue, black.
Aunt Sadie.
Did I mention I have cancer?
Crop circles in her eyes. It's beautiful.
That's fine.
It puts you in a place. Crop circles, we're picturing hay fields. You know, we're picturing corn as far as the eye can see. We're picturing that driving across the Great Plains of Kansas.
Come up with
Excuse
word.
me.
Yeah.
And the crop circles, they're also the rings and the bags under her eyes.
Yeah.
It's really beautiful. Jake and Amir wreck. Jake and Amir calm.
Calm?
Calm. Or Jake and Amir loyalty.
Wreck is pretty good because it's like something terrible happened.
Yeah.
WRECK wreck, right?
Yeah, exactly. I couldn't help myself. I generated 3 more random words.
All right, let's hear 'em.
Jake and Amir weak. Jake and Amir zone.
That's pretty good.
Which I feel like almost is one already. And Jake and Amir deputy.
All right, I like zone or deputy now more.
Right, me too.
So zone could be like you're asking me to do something and I say, can you not talk to me when I'm in the zone?
Yeah.
And you're confused.
Right.
Like,
And deputy is kind of like I come into work and you are sitting on my side of the desk. You're like my sidekick.
Yeah, that's good. Like I'm chewing on hay and I have a sheriff's thing.
Right. We're trying to get somebody in trouble.
Yeah.
Zone, I feel like zone is nice because I like the ones where you're kind of like trying to be motivational too.
Right.
It's like,
It's
what
only
if
that. What was that episode where I'm like, I'm giving you like a.
it's when you're on like
when you
Twitter.
are in
It's
that
only
zone.
when you have that joy that
When
you
you
can
can
be
be in the
truly
zone.
in the zone. Right. So I come in and you're like, hey, let's have a big day today. Let's get in the zone. And you're trying to get me to do
So
something.
it's more self-help.
Yeah.
Or is it more like
You're
you come
a
in and then you don't say anything and I go, can you not until I'm out of the zone? And then you go, I'm sorry. You're like, just don't talk to me until I'm out of the zone.
Okay, what if I come in and I say good morning to like Streeter sitting behind you?
That's good.
Morning, bud.
Yeah.
Can you not talk to me when I'm in the zone.
Yeah, that's good.
Right.
Like I read a self-help book and it went
Yeah.
haywire in my head.
Okay. So I come in, I say good morning to someone behind you. You say,
Yeah.
can you not talk to me while I'm in the zone? I say, I wasn't talking to you. You say, what are you doing now?
That's good. Yeah.
What are you
now
doing
we're in
now?
a conversation. Who'd you just say that to? Did you say I wasn't talking to you,
Well, you
also to
spoke to-
Marika, or did you say that to me?
You were speaking to.
And now you're speaking to me. And I am in the zone.
It doesn't sound like you're in the zone anymore.
Exactly right.
I was in the zone.
And now I'm completely out of it.
I'm gone from the zone.
And then you can
I'm
start
in the
asking
go
me
zone.
what that is.
All right. Fine. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sitting down.
Yeah.
Stop talking.
The zone's actually pretty important.
Yeah. I get the most work done when I'm in the zone.
Right.
And can you not talk to me? I didn't say anything. And now?
And then you sort of, it slowly comes out that the zone is like, I'm doing self-help and all I have to do is snort Adderall and put myself in like a meditative. You're like, all right, so it's mostly the pills that you got.
And I say, by the way, what are you working on? You show me your laptop and it's like Michelangelo of ASCII porn.
I made this.
I guess honestly really impressive, but not
Well, by copying and pasting other ASCII porn.
pertinent. Okay, not
I
impressive
added,
either.
did I do this once with the ASCII? The trick is to use @ symbols for the pubes or something like that.
I feel like we did.
It's hard to say which one's homage and which one was just us slightly remembering incorrectly old episodes.
Yeah. All right, so now we need the turn.
Yeah,
Because every episode has the turn.
Well, the turn could be that the fact that it's real. You realize that the zone is just me snorting Adderall,
Right.
and then it's like it's not actually like a mental thing that I'm getting into. It's
Right.
like, all I have to do is take these little pills, and then woo, start to think about like a single word over and over. And now I'm like, I feel like I'm in the zone
You're not in the
already, and I
zone,
haven't even
you're
thought of the
high.
word yet.
You're high, man.
Yeah, my psychiatrist / drug dealer / zone instructor taught me about this pill.
Yeah. But then the turn would be Marika's your dealer.
Yes, somebody or the zone actually turns out to be really impactful.
Right.
And you're like, oh, okay, maybe you should be on drugs. Like maybe this whole time I should have just been medicated.
Right. You just needed you needed Ritalin.
Yeah. It's sort of what I thought about the Joker movie. I'm like, is he a supervillain or is he just an unmedicated, unwell mental
Right.
person?
So
I accidentally take drugs that turn me in. You're like, don't do that. And I like do take this pill. And I'm like,
yeah.
all right, I actually feel really calm right now. And you're like, oh.
And then you start plugging away on your computer.
Yeah.
This is insane. Can you not talk to me? I'm in the zone. I know.
Wow. So I guess all you needed was some like attention deficit disorder medication.
Yeah, it feels like there's not really a punch there at the end.
Yeah, we need a twist at the end.
Yeah,
Like the
that's-
thing that I was actually working on was
Right.
very
Okay.
unhelpful.
Oh, I guess that's the twist. So then you take it. We think, oh my God, maybe you just needed to be medicated.
Yeah.
And then you turn it around and it's like a manifesto.
Exactly. I wrote an 18-page scroll.
Yeah.
Oh God, even your productive self is really
All right.
self-harming.
I think I'm done. Can you print this for me? This is a scroll. Top 10 wettest pussies to have.
to have. It's actually the last leaf before whatever poem.
That's good too.
A callback to this podcast was in the episode.
That's perfect.
All right, we're 80% of the way there.
Yeah.
That's
The rest of it writes itself.
Yes, this is close enough to shoot as of now, and then we'll
Right.
figure out the rest on the day.
Well, yeah, what usually we do is we write 1 draft, 2 draft, say we'll work on it
Later.
before we shoot, and then we
don't.
print it out and work on it as we shoot.
The worst is when we get to the end of the script we wrote and we're like, oh, this is like ending to come. There's no ending here.
Yeah.
Now we
yeah.
have to think of one on the day.
Right.
That we
just-
usually force out or ask the camera guys to stop.
Yeah.
while
and
we
then we
think of a
sit
way.
there, and then we eventually just find one where we yell at each
Yeah.
other.
How do I yell at the end?
How
of
do
this
I?
last
Yeah. How do I
episode?
raise my voice?
Yeah, and then we can cut right there.
Right.
All right. That was a solid segment / episode.
Dipshits.
All right. This one is called Order History.
Okay.
So you and I, we're going to search our email
Mm-hmm.
for the word confirmation, and basically talk about the last thing that we ordered.
that we shipped.
Yeah. All right. Let's see what I got. Confirmation.
Oh, it's
for-
my little nephew's confirmation this weekend.
Amazing. That's
came
an
up
invitation.
first.
That doesn't count.
Okay.
All right.
Oh, mine's pretty fun, and it's something I have to return.
Really?
Yeah.
Mine is also something, a confirmation that I got back. I returned.
Oh, okay.
All right.
So mine is a portable power bank because, as we spoke, my wedding was last weekend.
Yes.
And Casey, who's in the room right now, shout out to our producer, Casey.
Shout out to Casey.
I asked him if he was able to shoot our entire wedding on VHS.
Right.
And it took a while to find a VHS camera. I ended up finding one from our photographer who also had a VHS camera.
Wow.
But these technologies are so old that they don't even have batteries anymore. You have to like plug it into a wall, but you can't be beholden to a wall, so you plug it into a portable power bank. So Casey had to not only hold a heavy camera,
I saw him, yeah,
but he had a backpack with this power bank. Not even this one, because we already had two others. That was plugged
why did you
into
get
the
a
camera.
third power bank?
What's that?
Why did you get all of these power banks?
Because one of them potentially didn't charge, so I got a backup one, and then the backup one became the main one because the first one couldn't charge, and then I got a third one in case the first one was just completely dead.
I see.
But then you said the first one started charging again.
First
right?
one started charging.
We don't know
But
why.
I used 2 power banks.
Wow, all the way through.
1.5.
Wow. You definitely we got more than we thought we would.
Yes, yeah.
So it's good that we have the extra. But now
How
I
many
have a
tapes
third
did
one.
you get? Or did
Little
you have
over. It was one tape that was 2 hours, and then I went on to a second tape. So there's like, I'd say about 2 hours, 15 minutes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool. And I was just scanning through. I'm like, this is amazing because it's like stuff that I wasn't privy to or like some stuff that I'm in, but I saw it from a new angle. Also, like a bunch of people were like, you know, Casey's like in a tree right now, like shooting this, like getting like a cinematic angle of the aura or like hiding behind a bush. Like you really like took it so seriously. It wasn't just like,
It's
I'm in
beautiful.
front of you. Yeah.
It's like, it really, I mean, it looks like home movies. It's
Right.
so, like watching it is just nostalgic.
Instantly.
It's beautiful. Yeah.
I kinda
We should
think
have a
maybe
segment
we can
where
go into business together or something. I don't know. Like
Where I keep
VHS.
shooting your wedding?
Yeah. Or
Right.
I don't know. Maybe Jake's
Well, he
wedding
doesn't
or
really,
something.
he doesn't need you.
Huh?
He doesn't need you. Because he has the power bank. He
Well,
actually
I
has
have
2
I have
power
the
banks.
I have the third one that I have to
Yeah,
return.
but he can get the power bank. He's the cinematographer.
Yeah.
He has all of the technical know-how, all of the skill. He has the camera.
Yeah.
He knows what he's doing. He knows what he's making. What do you add aside from you told him once, oh, hey, we should do a wedding on VHS?
That was the idea, man, specifically.
After that,
I'm in the marketing engine.
the marketing engine?
So I put my entire tape online as a fucking commercial for
As a
Casey's
fuck you. And I'm Casey now.
And I will destroy this tape right now so that you have
We
no
should, as a
fucking
segment,
proof of
watch some
purchase.
of your wedding sometime.
Yes.
10-minute
I want to watch
chunks.
it first and foremost. I haven't
Yeah.
seen any of it yet.
No, it's great. It's a great idea.
How did it feel like for you, like holding the camera around? Did you feel like voyeuristic? Did you feel like part of the party?
I felt voyeuristic for sure. I felt very like most people didn't know me at the wedding.
Yeah.
And were looking at me like, who is this guy?
Is he a
Why is
friend
this
or a
camera
fan?
40 years old?
Did any like
It's a
72-year-old
paparazzi.
Israelis?
This guy
like,
was chasing OJ a minute ago.
I did make a Nightcrawler joke. Like Casey was then gonna like go cause an accident on the 405 and take a video of it. Did any like 73-year-old Israeli like come up and compliment you or ask you what the hell you were doing?
There were a few people who were like, I used to have a camera like that.
Yeah, that's awesome. Very nice. But yeah, that's my last purchase.
Okay, mine was a vacation to the Dominican Republic.
And you returned it?
I canceled the trip.
So how do you buy a vacation?
Well, I
and
just
then what
searched
is canceling
confirmation.
it?
Okay, so I got the confirmation of me and Jill's trip to Dominicales in Costa Rica. Oh, not the Dominican Republic, excuse me.
Yeah.
Costa Rica.
Okay, yeah.
Now it makes sense.
Yeah.
So
A
we're gonna
little
go to
bit more.
Costa Rica over Christmas.
Uh-huh.
I sometimes, like how it's tough to get people to go on a group vacation.
Correct.
I did this a few years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. I just will get a house and then ask people to go, rather than
once
being
there,
like, we should
yeah.
go on a weekend. Oh, which ones can you go on? Then it all falls
yeah.
apart.
Yeah.
So I
I have a house. Will
I
you
have
give
a
me
house. These are the dates.
$1,000 and you could be
Do you-
there for a
right.
week or something.
Yeah. Do you want to come? So did that. We invited some friends. We invited my brother. And then I started planning the other aspects of the trip. I had the courage to do this because I knew that I could cancel it up until October 29th.
Yeah, it's fun to hear this story knowing that you've canceled the trip.
Yeah.
You're like,
So
I got the house, I got the fucking
house.
itinerary.
I was like, this is awesome.
Locked and
Sent
loaded,
it
ready
around
to
to
go.
some friends, and people
They're
were getting
in,
excited.
they're
Micah's
in.
like, yeah, I'm down. Like,
course.
this is going to be awesome.
The adventure.
It's like where people go to learn to surf. There's just like very friendly waves. So I'm like, this is a surf trip. It's going to be great.
Great weather in the middle
A beautiful
of December.
house. Yeah, Jill's going to be there with the baby. We're going to get some fresh fruit. It's going to be just a really classy little trip.
It's a beautiful trip.
Then I find
You
out.
should bring Casey. Actually, you can shoot the whole thing.
Are you
on
down to go? I can
VHS.
get the house back.
I can uncancel. There's a resubscribe button.
So I found out you fly into San Jose, and then it's a 3-hour drive to the house. And I was like, yeah, that's pushing it with, the baby will be like 7 months old at that point. That's not ideal to take a flight
Into a
then
car.
to a 3-hour drive. And then I find out that there's actually no way of getting to Costa Rica direct from New York City.
Layover like in Houston.
There's
or Atlanta,
always a
Miami,
layover.
yeah.
There's like one JetBlue flight that flies there but leaves at 5 p.m. and gets there at like 11 p.m. Then it's a 3-hour drive.
Impossible.
So like
unsustainable.
to get there with the
start.
layer, I was gonna need to take like a 6 a.m. flight from Newark.
Yeah. With the child.
With the child, with the layover. And then I got a message from the host being like, we're going to meet you at the bottom of the hill. You have to rent a car that's a 4x4 because it's like a 15-minute drive through these muddy hills to get to the top of the mountain where the house is.
And if you're a single guy, you're like, that's awesome. It
Right.
sounds
If I was
fun.
going with Micah, great.
Yeah.
But I'm like, okay. I've convinced Jill to go on basically a surf vacation by telling her the house is really nice and the baby will have a great time.
Yes.
And now I know that the baby will have a bad time.
So we lost
Everyone
2
but me
people.
would have a bad time.
Yeah.
So
Which
I
would
was
mean you'd have a bad time.
yeah. And I was like, if I'm finally getting stressed about this trip, if I'm stressed, that means everybody else is like absolutely past their breaking point.
Right.
Because I have
you
a
have the
higher,
highest bar.
I have a high like stress threshold.
Right.
I'm like, I could be driving up this like muddy hill in the rain at 12:30 and be like, damn, this is an adventure.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, like I remember
She's not happy about
yeah,
it.
when we drove to Nantucket with the baby's 3 months old. So it's kind of crazy just like how a matter of like weeks the
She's
baby just
doubled in
becomes
age.
just becomes like so much more portable. When she was 3 months old, she was very tough to transport.
Not unlike the VHS camera.
Yeah,
Gotta
exactly.
Keep it,
It
plugged
was a
into
power
wall.
bank
Yes.
situation. But like we're driving to Nantucket in like standstill traffic. The baby's starting to cry, and we have to get over this bridge. And I'm like, I can get off this exit, or we can get over the bridge. Like, let's get over the bridge. But then we're in bridge traffic for like 25 minutes. Stop and start.
Crying baby.
Baby is screaming.
The whole
Jill is
time.
in the back seat trying to sing to the baby.
To try to get her to stop.
Yeah, all the baby will stop crying to is when we sing "Wheels on the Bus."
I see.
So we're just saying wheel, like the bus driver says, like we don't even know the words. We're
No.
just making them up.
Just to get a melody
Yeah.
going.
And
But she just wants to be held and or fed.
yeah, so she's screaming but she's like barely hanging on, just like on the edge of screaming, like I'm gonna fucking freak out if you stop singing. Jill can't even hold her breath because or catch her breath because she's just like singing nonstop. We get over the bridge into a traffic circle. Jill is fucking car sick, about to puke. The dog is like on me panting. Baby's screaming. We pull off to the traffic circle, and I'm just like, all right, here's like just a random pull off where there's a tractor. In this traffic circle, I whip the car around.
Jill, you can go puke there. I'll change.
Jill jumps
Gemma.
out of the car, starts dry heaving. She's sobbing. The baby starts screaming. And all the people in the traffic circle are just going around. And I'm like, being a dad is easy. No problem here.
She stopped crying yesterday, and we
Yeah.
were moved to tears.
So and the dog just has to pee. It was just like, I was like, this moment right now is exactly what you fear when you're like, can I handle being a dad?
Right, because this is like
This
your
is
worst fear is like
max.
it's like that every hour.
Wife puking, throwing up, baby crying. Honestly, the dog wasn't doing anything bad. The dingo was a fucking saint. He knew how bad the situation was, and he's just like, I'm with you, buddy. What do you need?
Let's run away together. Just me and you, boy. We can go to Costa Rica.
So that situation has shaded my Costa Rica trip. So now I'm pivoting.
A
I
New
canceled.
Hampshire style
I got the
staycation.
money back. I think we're gonna do some kind of hotel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Sounds great.
yeah.
Amazing.
And I don't need to bring 9 people. I don't need to bring anybody. I'll just bring Jill. I'll bring the
If anything, you
baby.
should go by yourself.
Yeah. If anything, I should just go me and Dingo. I could actually do the Costa Rica thing.
Now that I'm going solo.
Yeah.
I'm
So
going
that-
solo. Going solo.
I throw up.
All right. 2 really good stories that were sort of drawn out of that purchase. One of them, power bank. The other one is a vacation that you canceled.
Yes.
Airbnb.
Yes.
Did you break the news to everybody else that the trip was canceled? Or they're like, oh, yeah, I forgot I agreed to that anyway.
It was kind. I told everybody. I told Micah, and I think at 2 different points, Micah had asked me like, "Are you sure you want to do this Costa Rica thing?"
Yeah.
And then also Jill was like, "So like," she just kept on asking questions like, "So how far was the drive?" Okay, like what flight are we gonna take? And I'm like, just like, don't worry, we're flying out of Newark. No big deal. Yeah, no, I rented a 4x4. It's all good.
I actually own a RAV4.
Like, what are we gonna do for food? Like, I think there's a grocery store at the bottom of the hill.
I think there's papaya that falls out of a tree onto the house.
So I told them, everyone was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, I support that decision. I wanted you to cancel the entire time. I'm glad you came around.
And that's the end of that segment.
We say it at the same time.
Shameful.
Okay, it's time for our final segment of the day. This is one we're calling Jake versus Amir.
What is this one? I already forget.
This one, I think we can. I think it can be
try to wrestle, right?
Yeah. Well, it can be any time that we are against each other. For this
Okay.
particular one, it is us alternating saying the word trashy till one of us laughs.
One of us faints. Okay.
Yeah.
This one might be longer than normal or insanely
Shorter,
short.
yeah.
We actually tried this once and you giggled pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think we did it as an intro to our Patreon or something.
Yeah. Do you want to put money on it so that there's higher stakes? Like, do you want to do it 3 times and then it's like every time you laugh first, you lose $20?
Okay.
But you actually have to Venmo me if you go over
Right.
3.
Okay.
So there'll be a
if-
winner at least $20, but maybe up to 60.
All right. Oh, okay. So you win every time. Whoever wins gets $20.
Yeah.
Okay.
And we'll do it 3 times.
I'm already laughing. Yeah.
And then there's also the,
I also feel
the
like
gray
you're gonna-
area of laughter.
You find a new gear when there's money on the line.
Yes, exactly. I need this because I
Yeah.
want to go to Costa Rica
You want the
too.
stakes. Okay.
But then it's like, what's laughter? You know, like sometimes you're like,
right.
is that laughter?
I think if you make a sound,
That's laughter.
yeah, you can do this.
What if Casey's the judge? Because we're gonna be biased. We're gonna be like, that's laughter. That's laughter.
Okay. I mean, I know that I'm just gonna laugh.
We don't
I
need a
can
judge.
Venmo you $60 now.
Get it back to me if I happen to win one of them.
Okay.
Ready?
Yeah. Am I going first or are you going first?
You could. So I'm gonna have it real fast. Okay, you can go first.
Trashy.
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 Trashy. I mean, Casey.
Trashy. But I shouldn't be allowed to laugh when I'm saying it.
So the opposite of the game?
No, I didn't laugh when you said it.
No, it's any
fine.
laughter.
It's $20.
of course.
It's not a big deal. Trashy.
Especially because I've got it back right now. Trashy.
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 Trashy. We're okay there? Check swing.
Yep.
Trashy.
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 Double or nothing, you little bitch.
This is well, I'm at 40, so if I lose this one, it'll go down to 20.
Yeah,
Or
but
up to
I want
60.
double or nothing.
Oh, you want so
I'll Venmo you
$80
$80
or zero.
Or zero.
Okay.
Trashy.
Pointing to the fucking home run and striking. Baby, calling Jill. Listen, I don't think we can afford the fucking house. I laughed again. We have to confirm that you'll send me 80. And it does need to be 80.
Fine.
I wanted it to be 60, quite frankly. I thought 80 was too much.
I might have to cash.
Oh my God. Costa Rican dollars. You already fucking transferred it. All right. A short
have
but
to
sweet
cash.
segment. Sometimes the segments will be long, sometimes short. You thought we could do an episode with like 30, 40 segments at a certain point.
The original idea for the show was one segment every single week added. So it's like first episode one, second episode, the previous segment, and a new one.
Yeah.
Third episode, the previous two, and a new one.
Correct.
Going all the way up to our year 52
Segments.
high flying segments.
You're right. We did 5 today, but in this iteration, it would be up to 50.
Yeah.
I was a little concerned about that idea.
Yeah, you shot it down.
Yeah.
And maybe sound off in the comments if you think we should do that one.
And segment ideas we want too. I think we're smart not to have a Gmail for the podcast. We're going to keep it on Twitter and we're going to keep it in the YouTube comments so people can just sound off there.
All right. Sent it to at Amir B on Venmo.
Wow.
$80.
Good man. Honest man. So by the end of this podcast, let's see how much cash I can get from you.
Yeah.
Or maybe the next one will be more geared towards you.
Right on.
So segment ideas, send them
Yeah,
on
we should
down.
have bet money on the poem thing.
Oh my God.
Why didn't we give me
For Sadie?
yeah.
Sadie was a joke.
I fucking knew you didn't write shit right from the jump.
I would have loved it if you were like, you definitely didn't write that one, and I did.
Yeah.
That would have been a
Right.
great moment.
Basically the feeling that you got for
Correct.
the last leaf of autumn.
Yeah. I wanted you to cry about me.
It would have been amazing. Like if it turned out you had written last leaf of autumn, I would have had to be like, I really like that poem. There's not like I wouldn't have been able to get out of that.
And that would have been worth the $80 that
Yeah.
you also Venmo'd me. And any segments that you want us to recur, which ones of these ones
Right.
did you like the most? or wanna
Segment
see again?
ideas, let us know.
New ideas, old ideas. And of course, we're still on Patreon. We got to be on Patreon.
We have to be.
Patreon.com/JA.
Ja.
That's actually another segment we can borrow is just watching old Jake and Amir episodes.
That's right.
All right. Thanks so much for listening to episode 1 of our new podcast and episode 500 something of every podcast we've ever done.
Exactly.
I would say rate, review, and subscribe, but we're already sort of baked into the RSS feed that was previous, so it'll get lost in the shuffle.
Yeah.
It'll all look like a hundreds of If I Were You reviews and then a segments review.
Yeah. So no action items for you.
Except, I guess, subscribe to our YouTube channel, the Headgum YouTube channel.
One action item for you. Yeah.
That's pretty good.
All right.
And let us know what you think, and we'll be back next week until one of us turns 50, I guess.
Amazing.
See you guys soon.
That was a Headgum original.